Throughout history, people have chosen to be laid to rest alongside their most treasured belongings, creating a fascinating glimpse into their lives and legacies. These cherished items, guitars, pens, costumes, cigars, even a whale tooth, tell stories about their owners' personalities, passions, and quirks, offering a unique snapshot of what mattered most to them. George H.W. Bush wore patterned socks that paid tribute to his life. President George H.W. Bush, known for his love of quirky socks, was buried in a special pair honoring his lifetime of service. The socks paid tribute to his legacy, from his time as an 18-year-old Navy aviator in wartime to his enduring impact on the nation and those serving abroad. Tony Curtis took an iPhone and Splenda to his grave. When Tony Curtis passed in 2010, his casket reflected his colorful life. It held driving gloves, Navy medals, his grandson's baby shoes, a Trans Am model, favorite film clips, a Percocet, iPhone, Splenda packets, his dog's ashes, paints, sunglasses, a yarmulke, an Armani scarf, and a Stetson hat under his arm. Humphrey Bogart was buried with a whistle he gave to Lauren Bacall. Hollywood icon Humphrey Bogart met Lauren Bacall while filming To Have a Knot in 1944. He was 44, she just 19. Their undeniable chemistry led to an affair, and Bogart divorced his wife to marry Bacall. When he passed from cancer 12 years later, a gold whistle, inscribed with Bacall's famous line, "If you want anything, just whistle," was buried with his ashes, a lasting symbol of their love. Roald Dahl was buried with his preferred writing pencils. Beloved children's author Roald Dahl, known for classics like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Matilda, wrote many of his stories with his favorite HB pencils. When he passed, he was buried with a few of them, alongside treasured items like a snooker cue, red wine, chocolate, and a power saw. Bela Lugosi was buried in a replica of his Dracula cape. Hungarian actor Bela Lugosi, famous for his iconic role in Dracula in 1931, was buried in a Dracula costume in 1956, complete with a replica cape. The original cape was kept by his son and later auctioned in 2011 with a starting price of $1.2 million, but it didn't sell. Frank Sinatra was buried with a bottle of his favorite whiskey. Legendary singer Frank Sinatra, who passed in 1998, was buried with a bottle of Jack Daniels, a roll of dimes to call his friends, and a pack of Camel cigarettes. Sinatra's love for Jack Daniels remains iconic, with fans and whiskey enthusiasts crediting him for its lasting popularity. Elizabeth Taylor was buried with a love letter from Richard Burton. Elizabeth Taylor, Hollywood's iconic star, married 8 times, including twice to Richard Burton. Their passionate love endured through marriages, divorces, and reconciliations. Before Burton's passing in 1984, he wrote Taylor a heartfelt love letter, expressing his wish to come home to her. She kept it by her bedside until her death in 2011 and was buried with it. Andy Warhol's friend tossed perfume into his casket. Andy Warhol, known for his art and quirky habits, kept used perfumes as scent-time capsules to relive memories. While none of his collection joined him in his grave, a friend tossed in a bottle of Estée Lauder Beautiful and copies of Interview magazine, the publication Warhol founded, during his burial. Harry Houdini was buried in a very famous coffin. World-famous magician Harry Houdini, born Eric Weiss, was buried in the bronze coffin he famously used in an escape act to demonstrate his calm under pressure. Beneath his head rested a stack of letters from his beloved mother, Cecilia, symbolizing their close bond until her passing in 1913. John F. Kennedy was a scrimshaw collector. President John F. Kennedy was laid to rest in Arlington National Cemetery in 1963, alongside cherished mementos, a bronze PT-109 tie pin, letters from his family, a rosary, and a scrimshaw whale tooth engraved with the presidential seal. The tooth, a gift from Jacqueline Kennedy for Christmas 1962, highlighted his love for scrimshaw art. Bob Marley's coffin contents were biblical and musical. Jamaican icon Bob Marley, known for his music and message of peace, became the global face of reggae. When he passed, Marley was buried with items symbolizing his life and legacy: a Bible, his Gibson Les Paul guitar, and cannabis, reflecting his deep spirituality and cultural impact. Elvis Presley took his TCB ring to his grave. Elvis Presley was entombed in 1977 wearing cherished items: a white suit, blue shirt, a metal bracelet, and a ring etched with his TCB logo, symbolizing his mantra, taking care of business. Entombed in a 900-pound copper-lined coffin, he was later reburied at Graceland, where his legacy continues to inspire. Leonard Bernstein held Mahler close to his heart. Leonard Bernstein, renowned composer and conductor of the New York Philharmonic, 1958 to 1969, deeply admired Gustav Mahler, a former Philharmonic conductor. Bernstein identified strongly with Mahler, once saying, "I am Mahler." When he passed in 1990, he was buried with a copy of Mahler's Fifth Symphony placed over his heart. Alexander McQueen was buried with a special lock of hair. British designer Alexander McQueen died in 2010 at age 40, deeply affected by his mother's death and the loss of friend Isabella Blow, who discovered him. McQueen had Blow's hair made into a ring, and at his funeral, friend Sean Lean placed the remaining hair and a letter in his coffin.